good evening, my friends here at home and abroad. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Esteban, and this is the Esteban Hours Week in Review, where politics and reality TV are ripped apart by opinionated talk. If you woke up today, then today is a good day. How are you? And how have you been? First, I'd like to start out by expressing my heartfelt appreciation and thanks to all of my viewers, my friends and family who have wished me a heartfelt, speedy recovery and speedy return. Thank you so much for your pleasant words and your affection. Thank you. It's messages like this that I've received that make me love doing what I'm doing. By expressing my opinions on current events at hand and breaking news, and also sharing the stories and trials and tribulations of common folks such as you and I with each other, alerting everyone that we all may suffer or go through the same thing, of serving a sense of motivation and inspiration to those who may need it. And that's what I love to do. And I'm back. We are back stronger than ever. The first week in review in 3 weeks. So thank you for joining us today. And thank you again for your wise and loving words. And thank you to my new sponsors as well. I am in great appreciation for you. Okay. On today's roster of topics that we will be joined by Little Diva herself, Miss Trina, our political commentator. We have a great show today. In fact, it was so good, we had to make it into two different parts. So today will be part one, and tomorrow would be part two at the same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're talking about the tentative deal, so to speak, brokered by President Biden regarding the Israeli and Hamas war. We're going to give our opinions on that. Also, Trump and his 2025 project plan, his horrible 2025 project plan, and not just horrible, seriously, seriously dangerous. We'll talk about that as well. Then we're going to give out our own little tribute to actor Matthew Perry from the show Friends. He sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago at the age of 52. Young, 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 young. And we're going to give our own heartfelt experiences of how we felt for Mr. Perry. We also have Taylor Swift on the topic list for today and what she's been doing. She's been registering a lot of Gen Zs. And here at the Estebanao, we just think that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There's nothing better than expressing your American duty as a citizen, right? And that is to vote. And that's what she's suggesting. In part two, we will talk about the election and the results of that election, especially the great state of Ohio and the wonderful, wonderful people that came out and voted in droves. But we're going to talk about what that means, and how Republicans are taking it. And lastly, we're going to talk about this week. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thanksgiving is here, and this is the time of the year that we get together with our friends and our family. We enjoy a meal, we get fat, we talk crap, and we drink or get drunk, and then we go home. Then we have Black Friday, and all those shoppers who love to shop. I'm one of them. I love to shop, and we'll be talking about Black Friday as well. But before we get into our talk, Trina and I, first I'd like to voice my sympathies for the Carter family. Former First Lady Rosalyn Carter has passed away at the age of 96. She was just put into hospice a couple of days ago. And sadly, she has left this earth. She was an awe-inspiring woman. She actually hit a lot of high points and made changes as the first lady in the office back in, I believe, 1978 or something like that. In fact, I think she was the first woman to sit in cabinet meetings and have her own office and a staff. I mean, many of us millennials, we're used to that, right? We're used to the first lady being around and having a say so. Hillary Clinton, Laura Bush, but she was actually the first person. Take a look at this tribute that I did for her on my blog. Saddened to announce the passing of former First Lady Rosalyn Carter at the age of 96. She was an awesome First Lady who revolutionized that role and title, and she did it out of dynamite, steel, and strength. President Carter and Rosalyn were married for over 70 years, and now my heart goes out to him as he deals with what will probably be the most difficult thing he's ever had to deal with. Rest in peace, Miss Carter. Rest in peace, Miss Rosalind Smith Carter. Okay, without further ado, let's get into our program. Joining us now is the Esteban Hours political commentator, Miss Trina herself, Little Diva from the My Worthless Two Cents podcast on Facebook, and also host of Chat with Trina. Hey, Trina.
Hey, hey, hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I am excellent. Thank you to God. Thank you as well.
Yeah.
Welcome. We're starting a new week here. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good, full of celebration. Went to a gala and like I'm still on high from it. It was fun.
Oh yeah, I heard a little bit about that. I can't wait to see some of that videotape
I
that we could
know.
air and show the viewers how much fun.
Definitely.
All right, all right. Okay, let's get started. It is Monday. We have a new week starting up, and we're gonna go over a couple of our current events from last week. These weeks have just been so overwhelming and outrageous with news just popping.
Craziness and craziness. Sometimes you can't even believe you're thinking you're on a movie in a movie or something like
Yeah,
that. Like it's not
yeah,
our lives, is
yeah. These are the days of our lives.
it? And as the world turns.
And the world turns, and as we continue talking and commentating on these things,
Yeah.
we have to remember we only have one
One
life
life
to
to
live.
live. Yes. That's it.
Okay,
I
so
like how you did that.
listen, I was raised with a bunch of women in my household. I have three sisters, an older sister, a twin sister, and a
Uh-huh.
younger sister, and they dominated the television. So even though that was, 30 years ago, if you asked me
Yeah.
showed me a picture and asked me who's that, I will tell you exactly who that person is, their first and last name, who their father was, their mother, their sister, their brother. It's
And, they
horrible.
and if they had 16 personalities,
All right. And they died 10 times.
10 times. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Let's get into business here. So
All right.
Um, so we see that a tentative deal has been possibly negotiated or brokered, I should say, by President Obama regarding the Israeli and
Right.
Hamas war. And that tentative deal has been focusing on freeing all of the hostages. I believe that there are over 200 remaining hostages. They did find, I believe, in the last couple of days, two bodies
Yeah.
on the side of the road that were listed as hostages, and now they're known to be
Deceased.
deceased. Yeah. So
Can I pin
between
one?
that,
Can I
be,
pin real quick? Just
yeah,
that I would love it to be the Obama era, but it is Biden. You mentioned Obama. You giving me flashbacks.
did I? Oh man,
I
oh
was like,
man.
I would love that, but I will go ahead and let you know that you did
Thank you.
like that. But I love Biden, but I mean,
I seem to do that often too.
I wish you could make it happen.
I can only imagine the comments coming through from our viewers saying the same thing. Hey, this ain't Obama. I sorry.
I tried not to say nothing, but I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell him that I
Yes,
would love for
yes,
that to be true, but
yes. Yes, because I definitely don't want to do with Trump. You know, he believed he was running against Obama in 2021. We don't want to go there. So
don't do
thank you for bringing that attention.
it.
No, it was brokered by President Biden. So yes, the negotiations seem to be freeing all the hostages, as well as a 5-day ceasefire, which I thought was pretty good. First of all, the hostages should be what's the most important, right? And then second of all, a 5-day ceasefire, it may not be enough to some folks, but it's definitely more than the 4 or 5 hours that was proposed a week or so ago, which I thought was complete ridiculousness. So it's a start. I'm also happy to see that President Biden is actively engaging in these talks to try to bring an end as best as possible to the innocence of bloodshed going
Right,
on
right.
in Gaza, while maintaining his defense for Israel.
Mhm.
So I'm happy to see that. Um,
I too. It makes me think about how some people are saying he's not doing anything, he's old and all that, but this man has done a lot. And then going over there, I mean, because I am not in fantasy land. However, the man does have a heart, and he's thinking about those children and those women because he has his own family, children, grandchildren, and that thing. And so when they say
yeah,
he's not doing anything, there's two wars going on, or two big
yeah,
deals going on, and he
yeah.
has. When we were talking about a few weeks ago, he went to where did he go? Russia? Where did he go? China? Where did he go? We were talking a few weeks
No,
ago.
but he went to he went to Israel for a day or two on a quick
Right.
gesture and back. And
Yeah.
then he recently, last week, met with the president of China in California.
Yeah.
Okay, and actually negotiated a couple of essential deals with China that Republicans were laughing at or making a joke
Hmm.
of it, but it wasn't funny. They were decent deals. One of the deals is that the pandas that have been I guess rented to us
Hmm.
in a gesture of um,
Let
as
me
a
see you
good
something.
gesture,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
that they will be returned to us, or
Hmm.
we would be allowed to keep them. And
Hmm.
some on the right have made fun of that, like, well, what does that have to do with our country and the economy and the laws and things of that stuff? In my opinion, it doesn't matter. What
Right.
matters is that if China is agreeing to that, then there's got to be some
Some type
sense
of
of
relationship
yes,
that he
yes,
has built.
along with positivity. In other words, we're definitely not talking about war with China,
Right.
right?
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
So we're not best of friends, but as a gesture, a sign of generosity and
It's a
trying
big
to
deal.
get along, is that not what leadership is about?
That is what it's about. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with this deal, I wanted to put up a little bit of the differences, if I may, of what Gaza looks like today versus what it looked like yesterday, and yesterday being before October 7th of 2023. We
Yeah.
see the total devastation that has happened, and this is from the IDF military fighters. And I'm not here to comment on whether they're in the right or wrong. That's a different conversation. I'm
Mhm.
just here to show that uh, whatever tentative deal that Israel and Hamas have acquired by means of President Biden's input is going to decrease this,
Yeah,
right? And you know kill less innocence,
yeah,
because this is what we want to stop, right? What are your thoughts?
yeah. I'm just excited that Biden is having those talks. Sometimes it makes you wonder if you're not somebody that reads and pays attention, you would think our president isn't doing anything. But
Right,
going over there, having these talks, having the bravery and the courage to go over and talk to some of these people. But I'm looking at the pictures, seeing the difference. It's just horrible. And
right,
I read about the deal. And I was excited about it. I looked over it, and I'm excited that something is happening because
right,
sometimes we don't hear anything. So it's like, well, what are they doing? Then they come out because they haven't been talking because they're working on something, and to know that they're doing something instead of nothing. Hands up to President Biden for doing his thing and his administration, of course.
right, right. I wanted to mention, because you brought up President Biden's age,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
80 years old. I wanted to bring up a tweet that I did yesterday in regards to this tentative deal. And here's what I said, and you can give me your thoughts on the other
Mhm.
side. Thank you to POTUS for brokering a tentative deal with Israel and Hamas. This 80-year-old man doesn't stop amazing me with the tricks he continues to pull out of his bag. He's too old for what? Maybe to suck on a pacifier, but you can't even say he's too old to ride a bike, because
Yeah.
he does that
Yeah.
too.
Love
That
it. I like that. I like that. I
that
don't
was
know
my
if we forgot that age equals wisdom, experience. People have forgotten that. I don't want a 20-year-old working inside my body. I ain't gonna lie. I probably wouldn't tell them no, but I'd have an issue with that.
right,
An 80-year-old with good sight and everything that still has their license, I'm sure they have to have that, whatever. I'd
right,
rather do because they have the experience. My kids had a doctor. Their pediatrician still was carrying a little black bag. You ain't seen that since Marcus Welby. I'm aging myself. Marcus Welby. Anyway, but I'm saying that to say this new generation of people have forgotten that age doesn't mean you're dead.
right.
It does not. It is the wisdom that they have for us. And they know these tricks and then things that he's pulling out back. These are things he's learned over the years. The
Right.
relationships he's building with the different countries. These are things that he's learned from his experience and his time in
Yes.
government. In government.
Absolutely. And they pick on the fact that he's been in politics for over 50 years, and then stop right there. Okay, so he's been in office for over 50 years, so you'd like to see some new blood. Okay, maybe some would. But now he has been in office for over 50 years. So who else could be more wiser and educated and fit for the job?
For the
I
job.
I also say, again, going back to 2016 with Hillary Clinton and Trump,
Mhm.
it sort of is the same. Is on the same line. She was the most qualified at that time, for this position as
Mhm.
president, and they bypassed her for whatever their reasons were, and they brought in Trump, and now we are where we're at
Yeah.
today. But there was, and I don't believe there is any other um, uh, um, qualified woman than her as a
Yeah.
first lady, a senator, secretary of state, all these things
Mhm.
on. So
Yeah.
now we're at President Biden, 80 years old. He is doing so many things, so many things,
Mhm.
running to Israel and back. I mean, wow.
And think about this.
Cool.
Go ahead. I was thinking too that we talk about, Biden being, older. So, sometimes I hear my daughter say things like, because I say I think that people probably discriminate without saying they're discriminating when they see your resume. They look down how long you've been doing this for 50 years, right? But we're not dumb either. We know how to, he has all this experience, but I guarantee you there are people in his cabinet surrounding him that are young millennials
Yes,
that can help him with these other things that they're
absolutely,
talking about that he needs to know.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like Russell Simmons says, I don't have a degree, but I hire people with the degree and with the knowledge of technology and stuff like that. You know?
And that's normal. That is normal, right? I was
Normal.
watching one of the Bill Murr from HBO shows last week, and he had a commentator on there. I forgot her name. She's well known, but she mentioned, what about all the other old people that we love, that we don't talk about their age like this? And you know the two people that she mentioned, which were
Ooh,
excellent examples. Betty White died at the age of 99 and had every marble and sense in her head until
yes.
her last day of breath.
Mm-hmm.
Mick Jagger, still alive, is running around dancing, and she did it dancing right
Doing things.
now. Okay, so
And we can even add Cicely Tyson to that list. She died now at 90 something. But she
yes,
said someone asked her right before she passed. I read her book right after she passed, but someone asked her, how do you stay moving? She was still in movies.
yes,
And they said,
yes.
how do you keep that? She says, because I keep moving, I keep doing things, I keep my mind working.
And that's exactly what President Biden is doing and has done. He keeps moving. You see him exercising. You see him trying to be healthy. Do you see the other person doing that? Not at all. Not even close. So
Mm-hmm.
for all those out there, and I'm speaking to my viewers,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we may want some fresh blood, but it's not like the blood that we have right now doesn't work, because it
Right.
is working. It is working. And then if you include in there everything that is on his plate,
Late.
I don't understand why more are not giving him the
Credit.
commendation and appreciation that
Mm-hmm.
he deserves for
Yeah.
his age. The
Mm-hmm.
country hasn't blown up. I
Yeah.
mean,
Has not. And I want to piggyback on that by saying to your viewers is that as I mentioned, that he probably has people that know these things surrounding him, but also for him to be training, because we're not back there. We don't know who else is behind him, sitting next to him, to the right, the other side of Kamala, learning these things, taking in this wisdom, taking in all this experience to become one of our future presidents that's going to have the wisdom that Uncle Joe has. You know what I mean? Keep that in mind because there's someone there watching him that we don't even know about, even thinking about. But they're there watching him back in the background. Uh, gonna be one of our next future presidents because of the experience that this person has given him or her.
that's right. That's right. And our next topic was going to be about Matthew Perry, but I want to just switch it, since we're talking about we're on this subject.
Mhm.
Um, the third topic for conversation is on Trump and his 2025 project. Let's go straight to that and talk about that first.
Yep.
So we can put the contrast in there between what Trump is doing, excuse me, what Biden is doing right now versus what Trump is saying he will do
Right.
if he to be back in office. Let me read this quick notice of what his 2025 plan is going to be about. The development of the plan is led by the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank that's in collaboration with some 80 partners from the right. It envisions widespread changes across the entire government, particularly with regard to economic and social policy and the role of the federal government and federal agencies. The Washington Post includes immediately invoking the Insurrection Act to deploy the military for domestic law enforcement and directing the U.S. Department of Justice to pursue Trump's adversaries. Whoa. Project 2025 consists largely of a book of policy recommendations, the conservative promise, and an accompanying personal database open for admissions. This is madness. This is madness. So he's basically saying he is going to take over all government agencies to be able to report directly to him and do only what he wants, and that in sounding the alarm on the Insurrection Act on day one, that will enable him to sick the military out on the public, on civilians, gathering up
Crazy.
his opponents and his foes and anybody who doesn't agree with what he says. You tell me, what is the difference between that and what Putin is doing in Russia, what
But you know
Xi
he
in China?
and you know he was infatuated with the Chinese government and the other guy. I can't think of his name. He freaks me out. I don't know who he is, but anyway,
From
uh
North Korea,
yes, he's
Kim
infatuated
Jong
with
Un.
both. That's him. Yeah, he's infatuated with these people. That is what he wanted to be going on here. Unfortunately, we have things in place. But I'm gonna tell you what got me when he says he will appoint a real prosecutor to go after the Biden crime family.
Yes.
Really?
Well, you know how he says the Biden crime family. So one thing I've been learning these past
Mhm.
several years with Republicans is they are scholars with deflection. So whatever it is they say, you have to think to yourself, what's the opposite? Because whatever they say, they're doing the opposite. So now Trump knows of the wrongdoing and illegality that he's been involved in all of his life. But
Mhm.
now because many are calling the Trump family the Trump crime family, it is beneficial for him to start calling Biden the Biden crime family. But in reality, there's been no crime. There are no crimes. And it's just madness. It's just
Madness.
madness. Crooked Joe. What? Sleepy Joe in the basement.
And
What?
Hillary, he called Hillary crooked too, didn't he? Crooked Hillary,
Yes,
or
yes, yes.
yeah, that's your
And
president. I
yeah. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Deflection is what they are great at because they don't have any real truth or value to
said it out
what
loud.
they're trying to defend. Okay,
Contrary
so
to their what their characteristics are supposed to be. Uh,
correct.
yeah, it's
And
just the opposite of what they're supposed to stand for.
that's what's the most shameful part of it. All the things that Republicans have stood on for decades
Hmm.
has completely gone out the door, right? And
Hmm.
for me, it's not because they don't believe those anymore, because
Hmm.
I believe they do. It's because they have this new cult leader that they decided they rather serve than their own values that they have
Hmm.
championed on for
Yeah.
decades.
Hmm.
And it's shameful. It's shameful. It's shameful.
I
But
don't understand how they don't see that everybody that has surrounded him and stood behind him that was very close to him, they've all gone to jail. Like y'all don't see what I see. Like,
thank you. Thank you. Y'all don't see what I see. Y'all don't see what I see. Here's something else that I've been seeing. Nazi protesters protesting in the street. Florida it happened, and just recently, I believe in Michigan. Y'all
mm,
don't see what I see. Now, if this 2025 project was to come into order by Trump, we're gonna be seeing that every day. We're gonna be seeing that in every state, including blue states, because
mm-hmm,
they're emboldened to do that right now.
mm-hmm,
They're
mm-hmm.
gonna do it all the time
When
under
it's permissible, it's really going to be coming
Correct.
out.
Correct.
Hmm.
Because they know there's going to be nobody there to stop them. And
Hmm.
since Trump is trying to sick his people on those that are against him, if an attorney general in a state was to bring charges against these Nazi people,
Mhm.
we'll probably just have one of Trump or one of his men to come in and try to boot them out for doing so. It's madness. It's
They're calling it the revenge tour.
yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
How does that work for the people? What does that do? What does that
That,
do for your gas prices and the mortgage rates?
yeah.
Look.
I don't, you know what else freaked me out about it? When he wants to put the stop and frisk on people. That counts to our black and brown people, especially. So he wants to sign an executive order to also take care of the people that he's calling the rogue bureaucrats. Like then he wants these tent cities with the people that are homeless. He wants to force them out. Like it's just too much. Terminate work permits for the immigrants. I know we need to fix that, but the way
And
he's going about it is rogue. It's ugly. It's nasty, and it doesn't speak on what the America that I was raised in,
absolutely,
stands
absolutely.
on.
Absolutely. Let's add to that. He wants to round up all of the illegal aliens and put them in a camp, in a concentration camp to await deportation.
Does
What?
he go back and read Anne Frank books or something? Like what? What? Where is he getting this?
No, no. He only reads Hitler's books. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard?
You know, I try to hear as little as possible when it comes to that person.
A lot of folks try to hear as little
You know,
possible.
the thing is, though, we can't do that anymore because we got work to do. We really got some work to do. As you and I spoke off camera, that we got to work. January 1, we got to hit the ground running because we cannot allow our democracy to be pretty much taken away.
Yes.
You know,
And I would
he
say,
did well enough of doing that those
yeah,
other 4 years. Can you imagine what another 4 years will do? He undid
no,
everything Obama had done. The Obama and his administration had done. I mean, and like this.
right, right. And I had mentioned in that conversation that some people say if he wins. No, there's no if. No, there's no if. He cannot. He cannot, because if he wins, these conversations between you and I are over. The
Over.
days that we're able to just walk in freedom, in most of our freedoms, are over. There'll be a hotline, a 1-800 hotline, where we'll have to call in to ask, do I have a right to do this?
Right.
Do I have permission to do X, Y, and
Our
Z?
phone's gonna be tapped. These internet, all this gonna be tapped. Not that it ain't tapped now, but it's gonna be tapped for sure then. Because if you're saying anything about Donald Trump, no, he don't like you to say nothing about him that's not positive. And so
Right.
he'd have me because I don't have anything positive. So I guess I shouldn't say nothing.
Right, right. And all those who may say, "I'm not going to vote for Biden, but I'm not going to vote for Trump either," really, really need to rethink their decision, because this could be the
Talk
last time
to
that they
the
vote for
people,
anyone.
Esteban. Talk to them because it drives me crazy. There was an argument on let me not say an argument. I'll say debate on the View between
Mhm.
Sunny and not Sarah. What is the newest person? Between them two, I can't even call her name right now. But anyway, it was debate with them because she's saying she's Republican. No, she's not going to vote for Trump, but she cannot vote for Biden. And they were trying to tell her, but if you do that, you're voting for Trump in essence. And I've had this argument or debate with other people to say you're throwing away a vote.
You're
And
throwing away
you
a vote.
haven't even studied this third party person or this fourth party person that just threw their name in a hat. So if you do that, you're taking away a vote from the side that you need to be voting on. You know,
Correct.
not going to vote for Trump. Read over what Biden is not that bad, whatever her name is. She is not so bad for you to go vote for someone that you know
It's
9
not
out of 10
gonna
don't
work.
have a chance.
That's
They,
right.
they don't have a chance. What remember Ross Perot back in the day? He
Right.
just would throw himself all in the hat and taking all these extra votes and folks out there really voting for the man. Those are votes that were wasted and could have went on the right
That's
candidate.
right. and it's okay to voice your opinion and to say what's on your mind, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
not the year. This is not the
It's
year.
not here.
2024 is not the year because our politics have changed. It is no longer policy prone. It's about saving our democracy, saving our voting rights, saving the rights of women and healthcare and their bodies and all of our bodies. That's what 2024's vote is about. I'd
And
like
allow
to say
others
it's
they
it's
want
not
to
about
want.
Republicans versus Democrats either, but in a way it is because of who the Republicans have as their major nominee. So it is about Republicans versus Democrats, but
Mm-hmm.
not because of who's in there, but because of what that person that's there stands for.
Stands. Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to remember when we get ready to go into this January. If you don't want to do any of the work, it's cool. I'm gonna be out there working for you, me and you. But
That's right.
at the end of the day, you need to read, you need to watch, and you of all that, you need to listen. You need to really open your ears and open your eyes, listen and pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to what these crazy people are saying and what they're trying to do and what your life, not even just your life, your kids' lives and your family's life. What is it going to be like if this man gets back in office? Think about that. And if you thought what he did was good back at them 4 years, I don't even know what to say to you.
Right.
But
That's right.
that's a scary thought right there that you still have people who are on that bandwagon. That is I don't even have an adjective. I don't even know what to say about people who are okay with what he did and thought he was this great, wonderful president.
That's right. That's right. And also a notation to our viewers. And I want to
Mhm.
make I want to apologize for that. They're not my viewers. They are our viewers because you are part of the Esteban Hour.
Our viewers.
So, in another notation to our viewers, I know that everyone has heard that statement. Um, um, but believe them. What is it? If, believe
If you
what you
hear it
see.
the first time, when you
Believe
see what, yeah, I know what you're talking about. We can't even get it together. That's a shame.
that. It's still early. It's still early. But
Nah,
yeah,
that quote, but go ahead.
yes. But believe them the first time.
Yes,
Whatever it is that they say, believe them the first time, and that definitely matters and pertains to this situation. Trump has been doing and saying what he's doing and saying right now since day one that he announced his candidacy back in 2015. He's just doing it times 100.
he has been impeached. I wish I knew the little thing that Sonny says. He has been twice impeached, or is it three times? Twice
Right?
impeached. She says this whole line of what he is. But the bad part about that is we can hear it and think, oh, that's horrible. But those other people, wherever they come from, they see that it was a witch hunt. He was only impeached because people thought he was horrible. They thought he did things wrong. They were trying to blame him. They found a witch hunt. They just were treating him bad. Those are the people that I'm scared of. Those are the people that we've got to figure out how to have a conversation with them. Like, what are we gonna do about that? I mean, and I know it's not a lot we can do. We got to reach the ones that we can help, but we got to help get them too.
Right.
We got to figure
And,
out a way to get
and
through
for
the
me,
system.
you
Mhm.
mentioning 2 times impeached, 4 times indicted, 91 counts. So
There you go.
for me, okay, for argument's sake, let's try to see if we can reason with what Republicans say that everything is being weaponized against him, and everyone is against him because we hate him. Okay,
Mhm.
but he wasn't impeached once, he was impeached twice. He wasn't indicted once, he was indicted 4 times. And he doesn't have one count against him, he has 91. And all of this is from different avenues or institutions, from
Yeah.
Congress to the different state attorney generals, including some that are Republican, like
Republican.
Georgia. Okay, so are you really sitting here telling me in all of that he's innocent? I say to myself, Republicans have zero credibility if they can't even say he's done even one thing wrong.
One
Stop
thing, exactly. No accountability for
it.
him at all.
And it is mind-boggling, but that's when you realize it's a cult. It's a cult because
Yeah.
you're staring reality in the face, but you're
And
talking
it,
about something totally different
mhm.
that's been manufactured, created, thought up, but you're looking at it. For example, the boxes found in Biden's garage. You know, it
Mhm.
just came out recently that the DOJ decided they're not going to pursue a criminal case against him, and
Mm.
Republicans pounced on that right away.
Of
Oh,
course.
there's no equality there, and look what they're doing to Trump, but they're not going to do it for Biden. And
Mhm.
again, when I'm hearing these things, I'm screaming because I'm like, but Biden had, I don't know, a couple of boxes in his garage, and when it was made known, he
Turn
immediately allowed
them
them
over.
to come in and do their job. He
Yes.
didn't protest.
Did
He didn't
interfere.
curse them out. He didn't hide them. Okay. Trump had rooms, not a couple of boxes, rooms filled
Full.
with boxes. Okay. And there is actual pictures and evidence of that. And
Yes.
then when he was asked to give it back, he refused and said that the government property is his property. Biden did not do that. And that and
He's the
many of
current
them,
president. So if any, it's crazy, period. But if anybody was going to use that line about he's the government, would be able to use it. If anybody, would use it.
correct,
You are not
correct,
the president anymore, sir.
correct, correct. So where's the equality? Because there's no equality in the situations, in the circumstance. So why should there be equality in the consequences? If Trump would have just given those boxes back, there'd be no suit against him because
There
he
would
gave it back, even though he took them without proper uh, uh,
authority, I
without
guess.
authority. Thank you. He
Mhm.
took them. But if he would have given them back, there would have been no need to pursue any charges. Especially now is when you bring in the he's the ex-president. Yes. So as the ex-president, there's no need to pursue it because he gave them back. But that's not what he did.
That
So
is
why
not
is
what
it wrong to
we
pursue?
don't turn over anything.
I just can't. I just can't. Okay. I'm done. I'm all done with
We're
the
gonna
Trump.
move past 2025 for now. It's gonna come back though, y'all, because we are not going to sit here and allow y'all to
Mm-mm.
not know what's going on. Because
That's right.
if you don't want to read it, you don't have time to read it, we're
That's
gonna make
right.
sure we bring it to you verbally.
That's right. And we're not going to force our opinions on you, but we're going to
Right.
give you the facts for you
Facts.
to make your own judgments and see the clear truth of what reality is as we speak, right?
But I do, before we end, I do encourage everybody to read for yourself.
Yes.
Read these things. Watch, some of them. Not all shows are good, but listen and pay attention. And
And
I
don't
don't.
just go to one source, right? Because
Right.
some will say, "Oh, well, CNN is biased and Fox is okay." All right, sure, fine. But CNN and Fox are not the only media outlets out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go through multiple sources
Mm-hmm.
and read up to come towards the truth. Okay,
That part.
and all those sources can't be on the same side, so you can't watch just nothing but conservative television and then say that's not true.
Right. Because you gotta watch a variety of things. Gotta watch it.
Yes, okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent points. All right, so moving on a sad note, sad note. Our dear friend Matthew Perry, who passed away on October 28th,
Mhm.
2023, at the age of 52. Um, since then, many love and support has been outpouring, and tributes to him have been pouring out from his co-workers at his cast members, at friends, and also from his fans. all the heartwarming and loving support that he's received. And so I wanted to just bring it out with us, perhaps that we can give our own memories of our feelings of what he did with Friends. Friends is a big franchise. It's still on television today on multiple channels of reruns over and over, sometimes simultaneously. I mean, millions and millions of Americans loved that show, and so it was definitely heartbreaking to hear of the death of this gentleman right here. And if you ask me, he died too early,
Way too
um,
early.
way too early. 52 is just starting the second part of your life. And it was really, really sad to see. So, from everyone at the Esteban Hour, we wanted to give our thanks for his artistry and his creativity that he offered the world, and his humor. Right? He was
Very
funny.
funny.
He tried to keep things on a positive notion, even though his life had bared a lot of
Struggle.
negative aspects and struggles
Mhm.
that he fought damn hard to overcome. And you were mentioning that he just recently was coming out with a book, right?
He wrote the book. The book is out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm excited to. That's going to be my next read. Actually, I had planned it before. He passed away. I just want to say he and one other of the actors. I think you're gonna make show a video later, but he and one of the other actors. They're the reason I started. I like was scrolling through Friends. I wasn't a Friends fan back then. It was on. It was after it went off the air when I
I
became a
hope
fan.
you say the
He was
same
funny.
for me.
Yeah, he was so funny. Like he was very funny, and it makes me think about comedians in general. Um, that tend to have the mental health or they have to find some other type of outlet such as drugs and alcohol, and it just makes me sad because so many. When I think about Robin Williams, funniest guy ever, right? Not realizing how many demons he had, how much sadness he had. um it just makes me think about comedians. When you're there, they're out here, their job and what they love is making us happy and making us laugh, but to know that they're not even happy inside,
That's
you
right.
know
That's right.
it's
And
a
I got
sad
another
thing.
one for you.
What's
Who didn't take his life, but
Uh-huh.
let's not remember Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac. Yeah,
He
very
was a
funny. you
great,
know
great comedian,
yeah.
great comedian, and his
Hit
life
him in
was
the throat.
short. Say that again.
I said hit him in the throat. That was his thing.
Yes, hit him in the throat.
Right there in the throat, right there. Yes, and it's ironic that their job and what they love to do is making others laugh and making others happy,
That's right.
and for them to have so much sadness. And specifically about Mr. Perry is that he had just gotten past. So we thought his drug addiction. That's why he wrote the book to talk about his life journey. And he had gotten past that, which is always so interesting to me. Sometimes people get, even people when they're sick in the hospital, they're getting better, and then something happens, they end up passing on.
That's
Um,
true. And since you brought up his drug addiction and the possibility of what his how his death came about, let's play this clip from our friends at ET that is speaking, giving an update on what the medical examiner may or may not have found, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
There are new details in the death investigation.
Agent 23, Rescue 23, Miss 9 on radio. This is the Browning.
ET has obtained Matthew's death certificate, which states he died October 28th at 4:17 p.m. here at his home in the Pacific Palisades. The immediate cause of death is listed as deferred pending investigation. The comedian's stepfather, Dateline correspondent Keith Morrison, is listed as an informant to the death. Matthew was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park on November 3rd. His friends' co-stars attended the private ceremony. E.T. has learned before he passed away, Matthew was working on a biopic about his life and was hoping Zac Efron would play him.
I heard that, and it's a huge honor. Matthew is, just the best guy in the world. To think that he was thinking of me for that role, I mean, I would be honored to do it, to be honest.
So they haven't been able to pinpoint exactly the results from his death, but it is
Excuse me.
it's sad.
It's very sad. I would love to have seen the biopic, so hopefully someone will pick it up and run with it.
True, very true, and I'm sure someone will, especially out of honor and
Yeah.
respect for his life. I'm sure someone will. Let's take this opportunity.
Excuse me.
Salud to you. Let's take this opportunity to show a little bit, some clips of his work on Friends, narrated from not narrated, but through the eyes of his one of his cast members over at the Friends. Here we go.
The only thing that I'm gonna miss is you.
Tell me about your thoughts of the show Friends.
We have a good time.
In an emotional post, Matt shared pics of his favorite scenes with Matthew and wrote, "The times we had together are honestly among the favorite times of my life."
Look at me! I'm Chandler. Could I be wearing any more clothes?
He added, "I will always smile when I think of you, and I'll never forget you. Never."
You got $5.
Matt went on to reference one of the running jokes on Friends, Chandler always loaning money to Joey.
How much do I owe you?
Writing, quote, "And I guess you're keeping the $20 you owe me." They were friends on and off screen. Matt even covered for Matthew when he sat down with the cast right before the reunion.
And you're on camera.
I'm not.
Yeah, this is a 3 shot.
Are you in a 3 shot seeing me do that?
I think so.
I look crazy. I look like a crazy person.
Shut up over there! Shut up!
Shut up!
I'm scared.
I know, I just looked around too.
4 hours after Matt posted, Courtney Cox shared her grief.
My prince, my soulmate, my friend.
Courtney wrote, "I miss you every day." She also revealed that this scene,
You think you knew I was here?
which was supposed to just be a one-night fling between Chandler and Monica, turned into the beginning of their love story after the audience's reaction. Just before cameras rolled, Maddie whispered a funny line in her ear for her to say.
Okay, your turn. No, beginning. He told me to say it, he did.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
We will miss you and your comedic genius and
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love and will miss Mr. Matthew Perry. May he rest in peace. And all the love to his family and his close friends that are actually feeling this loss directly, right?
Definitely.
Okay. Next on our topic list, Miss Taylor Swift. This hot gal right here. She she has been working endlessly. Well, she worked endlessly for everything, but she has been doing a awesome job in getting a lot of her fans or just young people, right, to register to vote on the agenda of women's rights, right? Healthcare issues, women wanting to take and keep control of. She has been a champion in getting people to register to vote, especially amongst Gen Zs. What are your thoughts?
I think that's fabulous. It's fabulous that she's doing that. It's awesome. I was listening to that the other day, that how she has a gabillion amounts of fans and how they pretty much do whatever she say. And for someone like that to put out voting as one of her she has the platform to do it. That's gonna make people follow it, and we need that. We definitely gonna need it this year. It makes me think about P Diddy. P Diddy's what was it called? Vote or Die. So many
Yes.
people jumped on that bandwagon, and because it
Yes.
was they had such a strong following. I wish more people would do that. You know, I interviewed someone that said, I don't want to put politics into my answers.
You know, and to add to what you just said, because one of the things you mentioned is they would do whatever she says. That might be true, but notice that what she's saying is something
The right thing.
positive.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
he's not telling people to go out and commit violence, and she's not insinuating it either, because
Mm-hmm.
somebody on the right will say, well, this guy,
Yes.
their leader,
Power.
he's never told anybody to go out and commit violence. Yeah, okay, I'm hip onto your wording. Okay, I'm hip.
Yes.
Excuse me.
We know how you
Taylor
fix the
Swift
wording.
has never implied or suggested or
Right.
hinted to go out and do any harm. She
To anyone.
simply is suggesting and defending the right to vote. Okay, and in this case or circumstance, the right to vote for your own rights and your
Yeah.
own, and to keep your own freedoms, and this and the right of democracy. And that's why that's good. As well as you mentioned Sean P. Diddy Combs' vote or die.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say he didn't say die if you don't vote. He
Right.
said vote or die, which is implying voting is very, very important for all of us to do.
And I like that she's so young. You know, P. Diddy was an older guy when he did it, but she's young and has a good following, and she is leading them in a positive direction. So I'm for
Yeah.
it. I'm so for it. Great job, Taylor.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. That we here at the Esteban Hour, we want to give commendation to Miss Taylor Swift for her excellent work that she's not getting paid for, but feels the need to voice publicly. And don't let anyone tell you, Miss Taylor, that you shouldn't be doing that at all. Voting is our right and every American's right, and that's for both sides.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would never say vote if you're a Democrat, but I don't care about the Republicans. No, voting. Period. Period.
The vote.
Voting is
It's
a
very
right.
important.
Is an American right. And much respect to her for
Definitely. Definitely.
in
Much respect, Taylor.